Welcome to your class on double tops and bottoms. Let's get straight into the rules. Now, double tops and bottoms are formed when you find two peaks in the market. Now, the rule is you want to join your first 2 points, and that will basically create your neckline. So that's point 1, and that is point 2. Now you want to find the best possible connection so that you have a decent neckline. There's no exact way of doing it. You just got to find something that makes sense. Okay, so now what happens with double tops and double bottoms is right now price moves down, it comes back up, comes back down again, comes back up, and then it breaks out. But it will break out by the same number of points as the center of your two heads to the neckline. So if that is 10, then this should be 10 too. But we know that these rules were created a long time ago, so we're going to take 5. But we are also going to do our own analysis. So now this is a double bottom. We've also got double tops. So price moves up and down, creates two peaks, and then goes straight down to the bottom. Again, you want to join your first 2 points, and that should create your neckline. Once you've joined them, you know that price is going to break out by the same distance as your head to your neckline, but you are only going to take half because you don't know if it's really going to break out by 100%. Now let's look at this practically. Now when you are looking at the market, you want to look for 2 spikes. There's no right or wrong way. You just want to look for 2 spikes, and that is it. So over here we've got 1, 2 spikes. So let's draw our head and shoulders pattern. Now we're going to use the triangle tool to do this. So I'm simply going to take, as you can see, this is the triangle. You're just going to click 1, 2, 3, and it places your triangle. Let's do that again. As you can see, it starts with the triangle and the figure 1. So we're going to click 1, and then I've got 2 and 3. So we're going to show that this is our double bottom. And then we're going to try and join the first 2 points. Now, with the first 2 points, you don't want to be too fussy as to whether it's a top shadow or bottom shadow. You just want to find something that makes more or less sense. So this just seems to make sense to me. So I'm going to then measure from the center of the 2 heads, which is about 280, 278. And then you're going to just divide that by 2. Don't be shy to use a calculator, just to get some sort of accuracy. 139. And as you can see, I did actually go to 139. So immediately after it broke out, it went to 139. So from this candlestick, from the neckline to this candlestick, you would have gotten 139. Now let's try and spot another one. There we go. Can you see this is 2 peaks? This is still valid as a double bottom. So again, That's one peak. And that's another peak. Let's try and figure out where our neckline is. So we want to kind of gauge. Okay, that clearly makes no sense. So let's try and put it up. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. Let's see how it will look there. That makes absolutely no sense. This also makes absolutely no sense. This seems to be the one that makes the most sense. Remember, you are looking for resistance in this case, so you need 2 points to create that level. So once again, let's check if we have broken out by 50%. So from there to the center is 308. So we're looking at 154. Yeah, so just over 50%. Now, how you would want to trade this is you'd literally want to place a pending order just there by the neckline. And a take profit. For the amount that you are aiming for. And remember, it's the amount from the neckline to your target. So we said it was 139. So 139 is about there. So we will place our take profit around there. Now with your take profit, you always want to count spread into the equation. For Euro USD right now, it's sitting on 26 because obviously this is over the weekend. So you want to just kind of move it down slightly to accommodate for that 26. So from there, so 26 is about there. So you just want to move it down slightly, very slightly. So that accommodates for spread. You know you are triggered out of the market. But just in case you weren't, you know that if you did not get taken out by this candlestick, you would have been in a negative because price would have gone down. Now, how do these patterns usually fail? Now with your double top and your double bottom, let's start off with your double top. This is your double top. You have now found your neckline. You do not know what is going to happen next. So this is your neckline. And you find price breaks out and then it turns around in the opposite direction. This is no longer a double top if it passes the two tops over here. Why? Because it now becomes a double bottom. If we delete this line, notice how that is a double bottom? You're not going to find them on the exact same level, but it is a double bottom. Now, once it passes that point, when you join the two peaks, if it passes that point, this is now the neckline for a double bottom, and you need to trade it accordingly. Now, if you are still in a trade here, what you want to do is once you see it pass your neckline, you want to double your lot size so that you can break even, so that you do not end up running in a loss. Because you, from there to up there, is basically going to be the same distance as the 50%. So, well, half of the distance as the 50%. So you basically want to take half of that. Well, sorry, you want to times it by 2 when it is going up so that you can make whatever money you have lost back. So, for example, if this is 10 points, right, you would have lost 10. Let's just say you're trading it at $1 a lot. So you would have lost $10. Right? Now, you know that if the distance from these two heads to there is 10, then you know for a fact that you're going to get 5. So to get that $10 loss back, you're going to say whatever lot size that you were using. So we were using 1.00 here. When we go up to the top, we're going to use 2.00 so that we make our negative $10 back. The same applies to our double bottom. So if we have got a double bottom, and we know that this is the neckline, when price comes, if it triggers you over here and then decides to turn around, then you're going to do the exact same thing. You are simply going to close this trade once it passes the two tops. Because remember, if it passes the two tops, this is no longer a double bottom, but now a double top. So you want to make sure that you double your lot size to make whatever loss you have made back. But bear in mind, this only works with certain currency pairs. You need to make sure that you study your currency pair and know how your patterns break out as well as fail so that you know how to take advantage of this. Anyone else would have just accepted a loss, whereas you are not making a loss because you are making your money back, because you have seen with this currency pair, this is how it behaves. Now you need to study multiple currency pairs in order to basically gauge which currency pairs work this way. But if you do your assignments and you do them the way we tell you to, then you basically would then be able to do this on your own. For example, let's use these double tops, or double bottoms rather, as an example. So you have plotted them. What you want to do for your assignment is just figure out from there to there, how much is it? So it's 308. So we are then going to put 308 between the two heads. Oh, sorry, we want to select text. So it's 308. Make sure your text is yellow. And then next to the breakout, let's first calculate how much the breakout is. So 175. And then if we are actually looking at our candlesticks, we would notice that we would have been triggered up here and then price would have come down again. And then, you know, price would have played around with us there, so we would have been in the negative. So you want to take your ellipse and just highlight that. So just highlight this point so that you know that you would have been in a negative. So over here, you can clearly tell that this is a double bottom.
Well done for getting through this lesson. Don't forget, you've got to practice. Let's do this.